Well, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the stream. Obviously, you guys know we're going to be talking about um, the Scream franchise and whatnot. Um, gonna wait for some people to get in here, but other than that, yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna talk about the Scream franchise. We're gonna talk about Scream Seven theories and whatnot. Um, so yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing tonight. Be sure to again hit the like button and subscribe button as always, and hit the like button as well. I think I said that, didn't I? Maybe not, but sorry, I kind of forget real fast. Um, but yeah, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and for those of you that are not able to make it, obviously, be sure to hit watch the replay. Um, But other than that, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be talking about Scream. We're going to be talking about just the franchise in general. Um, Scream 7 as well. Talk about Scream 7 theories that we have, you know, for Scream 7. Um, and then obviously we could talk about the whole we could talk about anything. It's just got to be Scream related. So Scream 7, obviously, we know Scream 7 will be it is going to be coming. Well, it's not coming out this year, but it's coming out next year or 2025. Um, that's when it's expected to release. But as of right now, we do know 100% that there is going to be a Scream 7. We know that 100%. Um, so yeah, so that's what we do know. And one thing that is very, very interesting is that, the whole Melissa Barrera situation, the way she got fired. Again, I don't want to blame anybody. I don't want to sit here and say that it was her, that she was in the wrong or anything like that, because we really don't know who's in the wrong in this situation. But anyways, yeah, so that's basically what we're going to be doing. We're just going to be talking about that. And yeah, the whole Melissa Barrera situation, I feel bad for her, honestly, because again, I expected her to, be in the film. That's what we expected. We wanted her to be a part of the film and whatnot. And sadly, she, you know, wasn't, she's not going to be in the film because she got fired for making a post about the Israel, something going on in Israel, I believe. She posted it on Twitter and she got in trouble for it, supposedly. So that's the main reason why she got fired. Um, so yeah, and I do feel bad for her. I do feel bad because again, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that happen to any actor. Um, doesn't matter who it is. You just don't want to see it. So it's just sad overall that she went through that. I'm kind of 50-50 on it, as I was saying. I'm not going to sit here and point fingers or anything like that because, again, I don't really know who to blame in this situation, to be honest with you. I mean, it's kind of like a 50-50 kind of thing. So I really don't know who to blame. Honestly, I really don't. I really don't know who to blame. Don't know who to point the finger at. I mean, it is wrong. I don't know who's in the wrong. I don't know who's in the right, personally. I mean, I guess I'm just 50-50 on it, because I really don't know what to think. I really just don't know what to think about the whole situation. Um, so yeah, it's sad, of course. Of course, as you know, it is very sad. You know, I expected her to be a part of the film, but sadly, you know, she got fired. And then obviously, you guys heard about Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega will not be in the film, as she's doing other projects, so she will not be in the film. Um, so yeah, that's very very interesting. So yeah, that's basically that's one thing that we do know as well. Like Melissa Barrera nor Jenna Ortega will be in the film. Sadly, we will not have Sam Carpenter. We will not have Tara Carpenter in the film, um, which will be pretty interesting without them. I don't know what they're going to do without them, but it's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. You know, I really don't know what they're going to end up doing personally. Um, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens again because I really don't know what they're going to end up doing. Don't know what they plan on doing. All I know is that there is rumors out there that Sydney is coming back, which I heard those rumors. I heard those rumors quite a bit that Sydney is coming back, which I believe that she is more than likely. That's just my theory on all that. But as of right now, we don't know anything else. That's all we really know. Um, but sorry, guys. So yeah, um, that's basically what's going on right now. Basically don't know anything in terms of like we don't know who's going to be in the film. Obviously, all we know is that we are getting a Scream 7, and Nev Campbell is rumored to be back. She is rumored to be back. We don't know 100% again though if she will be back 100. Like so, as of right now, it's just a theory. Everybody wants to see her back, including me. I want to see her back. I want to see her, back in Scream 7, and it's just I just need it, I just need it personally. Um and yeah. So that's definitely what I believe. I definitely believe that she will be coming back. Well, this is just speculation. This is just my speculation. Something that I believe. Okay. I think that she is coming back. I think that she will come back. Um, and of course, it's not confirmed or anything, but I do believe that she will come back one way or another. Because again, if you think about it, if you truly think about it, they really don't got any other story to tell other than to bring her back. Obviously, it's you don't got Sam, you don't got Tara in the film again. So I do think that she will be back. Well, it's just you know, I'm just making my prediction. So I do believe that she will be back for this film. Uh, and of course, it's not confirmed or anything like that. But I'm speculating on it. I'm giving you guys basically my speculation on it because I don't know. Like you really don't have anything. Like you don't have any other story to tell, as I was saying. Um, so that is the main reason why. That's the main reason why I believe that. So, um, you don't got any other story to tell. On top of that, you don't got anything. Anything like you just don't got any other story to tell. So that's the number one reason why I truly believe they're gonna definitely, do that. They're definitely, I truly believe, I think that they are gonna do that. I truly do believe that, like, and that's just my opinion, my personal opinion on it, you know. Um, so yeah, that I don't know. Like, I just feel like if they are gonna bring her back, I don't think they're gonna kill her or anything like that. I don't think they're gonna kill her or anything, but I do think that this film will be her last film, like 100%. So, and of course, right now it's all speculation. We don't know 100% if she will be back or not. Right now it's speculation, but I'm theorizing right now, and I'm saying that she will be back. I'm thinking that she will be back. That's just my prediction. Um, because if you guys don't remember, when before Scream 6 happened, I predicted that Kirby Reed would be back, and I turned out to be right. And then it turned out that she, was returning. So my prediction was 100% right on that. So then, if I predict Sydney to come back and I turn out to be right again, well, I guess I'm just a great at predicting, because Scream 6 again, I predicted, Kirby to come back. I just knew that she was going to come back in Scream 6 because, again, all these rumors, there was rumors flying around that she was going to be back anyways. And in Scream 5, I guess there was like a deleted scene where they like showed like a wanted sign with her or something. And basically it showed obviously a picture of her and it was like a wanted sign. So basically indicating that she is, that she was still alive, right? So I already knew that they were gonna, bring her back. I knew that 100%. She came back, and I turned out to be right. So, yeah, it turned out to be right. She ended up coming back, returning. They announced it and whatnot, and I was right. And I made a prediction on it too. So, I definitely think that I do believe that Sydney will be back because again, this is the last film. They don't got any other story to tell again. So this will be her last film. In my opinion, if Stu does come back, let's just say Stu does come back, which I believe he will, which I believe he should. I don't know if he will, but I think that it's very possible that he could. Given all the evidence that, that they gave us in Scream 6 and Scream 5. So I definitely think it's very possible. I think it's very possible that he does return. Because again, they've given us a lot of evidence, a lot of, they've given us a lot of clues, that he's still alive, and it seems like that's what they're going to be doing for Scream 7. So that's just honestly my theory. I'm just theorizing a little bit. I'm not saying that it's going to happen 100% because, of course, it's not really guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that it's going to happen. It's not guaranteed that it's going to, that we're going to get Stu back miraculously. Like, it's not really a guarantee. But everybody, all I'm saying is that I want to see it. I really want him to return because the way Scream 5 went, they showed basically they basically showed like gave you clues. In Scream 5, they say that he was the one that attacked, Tara, because Richie and Amber weren't even around. Richie was on vacation, right? So there was speculation that he possibly killed, or he possibly attacked Tara. Because again, if that wasn't Richie, if Richie wasn't around during that time, then it's a possibility that he did. And then you got to look at it. You got to look at it in another, like, them. They gave us clues about Dewey, right? About him possibly killing Dewey. With the whole "it's an honor," line. I mean that's kind of, and then the way he killed Dewey was the same way. Basically, he explained. If you guys don't remember, he described how to gut someone in 1996 in the fountain scene. And that looked like the same description of how he killed Dewey. And then, that line when he says, "It's an honor to," it's an honor to finally get it done. Basically what he was saying. Yeah, so I definitely believe it's very, very possible. It's very possible that he's been alive. And I even talked about, how Dewey possibly knew all along and just didn't want to tell anybody. And I still think that's possible. I still think that's possible. I still think that he possibly knew all along that Stu was alive, because if you guys don't remember, when he was like talking to the group and when they basically go to Martha's house or whatever, and they have like that meeting or whatever with each other, they show all the pictures with like Randy and whatnot. He was basically like explaining how to survive a horror movie or whatever, and yeah, he was all talking about how basically speaking on Stu in the present tense. So when you speak on somebody in the present tense, that usually means that you're talking about them as if, you're talking about them as if they're still around or something. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why I truly believe that Stu Macher is alive. I believe that he survived the TV in 1996. I'll never believe that he died. Well, if he doesn't ever come back, that's going to be disappointing, of course. But I'm always going to still hold that, in my heart, that he's not dead, because all the evidence that we've been given, and it's just, if it doesn't happen, it's going to be disappointing. But so again, the fact that Dewey, was basically talking about Stu in the present tense, basically that goes to show that, he's not dead, in my opinion, because again, when you speak on somebody in the present tense, you're basically speaking on them as if, they're still alive or something like that, So that's just my theory on that. That's just what I personally think. Because again, when you speak on somebody in the present tense and not the past tense, that goes to show you, that goes to show you. So that's the reason why I truly believe that Stu is alive, based off of that, and then obviously, all the other, evidence and clues. But Yeah, and a lot of people were even saying that he was even in, Scream 2 and even Scream 3, which I think that's very possible as well because it's very possible that the other killers already knew he was alive as well. You know, and maybe Roman knew, maybe even Mickey knew, but I think there's a lot of people that believe. Okay, like in Scream 3, there's multiple scenes where Ghostface is like teleporting, and even in Scream 4, I mean, a lot of people even pointed out in Scream 4, like they noticed that there's like killers basically like teleporting, and he basically, um, a lot of people were saying, that it could have been Stu, in those scenes, and I tend to agree with that, because again, the original plan was that they were supposed to bring him back. They were supposed to bring him back um, for Scream 3 originally, like, but obviously the Combine shooting prevented that. So that was the original plan, though. He was supposed to make an appearance. He was supposed to be revealed as a killer at the end. Um, so we would have already had Stu back in Scream 3, but obviously the Combine shooting, prevented that. So it didn't happen, sadly. But it's just, man, it's just absolutely just, it's sad personally. Like, it's just sad, you know? It's sad. It's sad that, they didn't bring Stu back, even, I know it's because of the Combine shooting, and all that. It was just unfortunate that we didn't get him in Scream 3, But it's not like I wasn't happy with what we got, because I'm very well happy with what we got. Um, but like, I don't know, man. I just truly believe that, a lot of people just have their own theories, Was he in Scream 2? Was he in Scream 3? Was he in Scream 4, in Scream 5, Scream 6, so on and so forth? I mean, there's just so much clues. And I know Scream 3, okay, like that's a little different because, again, in Scream 3, there was two killers. Now, obviously, Angelina was the second killer, I think. She was the second killer. And I think that she obviously faked her death. Well, Roman helped her fake her death, so she didn't get revealed. But she was the second killer. She was the secret second killer. Um, and I think that a lot of people say it was Stu that was, in one of those scenes. But honestly, I mean, I'm kind of the opposite in a way. But then again, I do think it was Stu. Like, I think a part of me believes it was Angelina that was, in those scenes most of the time. But a part of me believes that it wasn't Angelina. So I really don't know what to believe. I don't know what to think about all that, but a part of me believes that it was Angelina, but a part of me believes it was Stu. So I really don't know what to believe on that. But all I know is that there is a lot of people that believe that it was Stu. So I mean, and I tend to be with them on that. I tend to be with them because again, Stu. I don't know, man. There's just so many scenes in that film that prove that he's, not dead, and it's just too obvious like it's just too obvious. So, and I'm not saying that it will happen again. I'm just saying that it is a possibility. Um, so yeah, that's just my opinion on that. I do think it's a possibility. I do think that it very well could happen. Not saying it will again, but it's Um, very possible that it will. So that's just my opinion on that. Personally, but I guess we'll have to see what happens. And if he doesn't come back, I'm gonna be disappointed because again, do I think he's gonna? If he doesn't come back in Scream 7, do I think he's gonna ever be back? I mean, it's kind of difficult to say right now, because I don't really know like how many. I mean, who's to say he can't return in the future as well, But then again, I just don't really think it's gonna work in the future because Sydney, if Sydney's not gonna be in the films no more, and this is gonna be her last one, I just don't think it would work, especially because you're basically having them go after Sam, which Sam. I personally don't think it makes sense for him to go after Sam. Personally, I've been saying that even if Sam and Melissa Burra does come back in the near future, um, I definitely don't think that she will be. I don't think that he will go after her personally. Yeah, as I was saying, it doesn't make any sense. It makes more sense for him to go after Sydney because, again, Sydney was the one that basically threw the TV on him and whatnot. So yeah, that's just my theory on that. I mean, a lot of people have their own ideas and whatnot. I just, man, I just don't really know how they're gonna end up doing it. You know, I really just don't know. Like, I don't know if they're gonna end up. I don't know if they're gonna end up, doing something to where Sydney does come back. I don't think that's very unlikely. That's very unlikely. So that's why I don't see it, especially in the future. I don't see it. But anyways, guys, 1 minute. I'm gonna go get me something to drink real fast. I'll be right back. 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Um, but yeah, I had to get something to drink. I had to give me some water. Nice cool water. But yeah, nice and cool. But yeah, as I was saying, I just don't, man, I just don't really know like what to think about it. I just really don't. Like, I just don't know. Like, if Sydney's gonna come back, I don't know. Well, I believe I'm predicting right now that she will. That's my honest prediction. Um, that's what I'm predicting right now. I'm predicting that she will return because again, you don't really have another story to tell, and plus, you don't really again you don't have any final girls in the film. If you don't have Sydney in the film, you won't have any final girls. You know, I mean, are you gonna make Kirby the final girl? I mean, it's very unlikely at this point because again, Kirby is. I think Kirby is. I truly believe that Kirby. You know, if Wes Craven was still around, I think that would have been a possibility because I think Wes Craven, you know, had an idea. He had an idea of making Kirby the final girl. I think he was in. Obviously, you know, he was gonna make a Scream Five. He was gonna make a Scream Five before, you know, he sadly passed. But he, you know, had plans. He was gonna bring Jill back. He was gonna bring Kirby back, and Jill was basically gonna go to like she was gonna go to, I guess, school, like her and or college or something like that. Like her and Kirby were gonna go to college or whatever together. Um, and basically Kirby, I'm guessing that Kirby probably he was probably making it to where Kirby didn't know that Jill was one of the killers. You know that maybe Kirby didn't know. So I think that was his plan. That was what he was going to do because Jill, obviously Jill got killed, but she was supposed to survive, I guess, and they were going to bring her back. So, and yeah, that's what they were going to do. They were going to bring her back, and I guess Kirby was not going to know that that Jill was the killer. I think that was basically the plan. That's what they were going to do. Um, so yeah, it's very very interesting. Um, but yeah, so that was very possible. Like then, I think if Wes Craven if we would have got his version of Scream Five, then I think that would have been possible. That we would have got that. We would have had Kirby as the final girl. Like Kirby would have been like the next Sydney. Basically, is what I'm saying. Um, that's what they have planned. It's what they had planned for Scream 5. Well, I think that Wes Craven had plans to do that. Like, I think it was a possibility, a strong possibility. So, but at this point, I don't think it's going to happen. Of course, I don't think that they're going to make Kirby the final girl. I mean, they very well could, and I could be wrong, but I just don't really know if they're going to make her the final girl at this point, especially with new directors, new writers, and whatnot. I just don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to make her the final girl because if they were going to do that, they should have they should have did that probably. They should have did that in Scream. Wes Craven. The reason why I don't think so is because obviously it's different directors. It's like basically like a new timeline. New directors. It's like I guess, and this is another reason why. Okay, because it's the same timeline, I believe, but Kirby, Sydney, Gale, Dewey, Martha, like all those characters, they're not Radio Silence characters. Those characters are Wes Craven's. So that's why I don't think that they would do that personally, because they're not Radio Silence characters. Well, Kirby's not a Radio Silence character. She's a Wes Craven character. So that's the reason why I don't think they're going to do that. That's the reason why I don't think they're going to make her the final girl at this point. Um, but I mean, I could be wrong. Who really knows? I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Maybe they will, but I really just don't think so. At this point, it's too late. I think it's they're not radio silence characters, so. Ooh, nice cool water. But yeah. So yeah, that's just my take on that. I truly believe that that's just my theory. That's just my personal theory. Like, I just don't think that radio silent, because again, Kirby's not a radio silence character. She's a Wes Craven character, so there's just no way that they're gonna make her the final girl. So, but it would be very interesting, and I always said that I thought it would have been cool to see Kirby as a final girl, just to see, like what it would be, like what she would, like how she would do as the final girl. But yeah, it would be very, very interesting. It would be very, very interesting for sure. And another thing too is that something that we got to also remember again is that she's not she's not a radio silence character, so they can't really make her the well, I mean, I guess you never say never, but again, I just don't see it at this point, but it would be very interesting. But yeah, so Kirby. So let's just say that Jill. Let's just say that Jill's gonna come back in Charlie, right? Well, they can't. I think they could bring him back. I think they can bring them back, but they're not. They won't be the same like they used to be. Like, what's to say? Like they won't be the same like they were in Wes Craven's version. Like Kirby was kind of a different character in a way in Scream 6 compared to Scream 4. Like because obviously that was Wes Craven's version at Scream 4 was, and then fast forward to Scream 6, obviously that kind of changed, because it was under new directors, new writers and whatnot. So obviously the character isn't going to be the same as they were, Wes Craven's version. I was just saying, like Stu Macher or someone, if he returns, he's not going to be the same like he was in Scream 1996. He's going to be a little different. So he's going to be way darker. He's not going to, be silly or anything like that. He's not going to be silly at all. Like, he's going to be totally different because obviously it's under new writers, new directors, and obviously I think if Wes Craven would have brought him back, I'm pretty sure he probably would have been different anyways. I'm not 100% on that, but yeah, I think he's definitely going to be different. He's not going to be anything like the same. He's going to be totally, totally different, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion on that. So yeah, there's a lot of a lot of interesting stuff. That's a lot of interest. I'm very interested to see what happens in Scream 7. Like, is Hayden Panettiere going to be back? Is Kirby going to be back? Um, I'm guessing. I'm predicting that she will, because again, she didn't die at all in Scream 6, which I thought she would die. Thought she would die 100%. Um, and that turned out to be wrong, thankfully. But yeah, I 100% thought that she would die. 100%, like I 100% thought she would die, because in that scene and parts of the film, like I thought she was the killer as well. Like, thought they were gonna make her the killer for a little bit there. Um, that one scene where she was basically like at the end, she was like basically, um, in the museum or whatever at the end, like she locks Sam and Tara in that room or whatever. And I'm just like, oh no, like they're gonna make it the damn killer, you know? And I kind of got a little worried there. I legit thought that she was the killer because she had locked him in that room or whatever. And I was like, man, no way, dude. I was just like, I thought it was coming, dude. I thought it was coming. I turned out to be wrong about it, of course, but I thought it was coming, you know? And man, and that movie really, really, got me going a little bit. Kind of got me a little worried, you know? But yeah. So yeah, that's the most interesting part about the Scream franchise. You basically don't know what can happen at any time. Anything is possible. Anything can happen, I guess. Um, Basically, anybody could be the killer. So everyone's basically a suspect, which that's what they're going with. Everyone's a suspect. Basically, everybody's, basically, the killer in a way, because really you can't trust anybody. Um, so anything can happen, I guess, in the Scream franchise. You just don't. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I say that it's not going to happen, it could happen. Like Jill could come back. She could come back. Charlie could come back. Um, it's all very possible. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that she won't come back. Well, I mean, I don't believe that she will come back necessarily, but it's surely not off the table, because again, it's definitely not off the table, in my opinion. It really isn't, if you think about it. So I just don't think, I just don't believe that. I have a lot of feelings about it. Like, a part of me believes that she will come back, but then a part of me believes that she won't, because she got paddles to the head. And just because I'm saying that she won't come back doesn't mean I hate her. Doesn't mean I hate her character or anything. I just don't think that she's gonna be back necessarily. You know, I personally don't think she's gonna be back. Because of those reasonings that what I was just saying. Like, I just don't think she's gonna be back necessarily. I don't think that I don't think Charlie's gonna be back either. But hey, who am I to say, right? I mean, anything could happen. And if it does happen, I'm gonna I'm gonna admit that I was wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and deny. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm gonna show up like a man and say you know say that I was wrong. You know, and I'm willing to admit that if that happens because again, anything is possible. If the Stu thing is possible, I mean, even though the Stu thing's a little different than the Jill thing, that's what people don't get. Like the people that hate Stu are the people that say that the same people that think that Jill survived. You know, but they can't. They don't believe that Stu would be able to survive a TV or anything like that, which is crazy. But they believe that Jill could survive paddles. I mean, that's a little outrageous to me. I mean, a TV compared to paddles, and that's. I mean, you could survive a TV a lot more like easily than you can paddles, in my opinion. Because again, paddles you don't. You basically, if you get paddles to the head, you're basically gonna go brain dead, like, and your brain's gonna be like fried. As to where if you get a TV thrown on you, you're basically you could lift it off. It doesn't do that as much damage because again, the electricity is not flowing in the front of the glass; it's flowing in mostly the back more than anything. Because electricity, if it was flowing in the front, that would be a little different. Um, but I don't think it flows in the front. I think it flows more. I think it flows more in the back, um, more than anything because again, if you really really think about it, that's just my theory. I think that TVs, especially TVs now, it's very very easy to survive TVs in general. Because again, you don't have they don't have. It's not like electricity is flowing through the front. Again, it's flowing through the back. So, and as to where like paddles, paddles are basically, you're basically getting electrocuted, and your brain is basically getting fried. You know, and then that makes you basically go brain dead because of the electricity coming out. So I mean, it's a little different. It's a little different compared to. It's a little different compared to. It's a little different compared to. Let's say, like I said, a TV. So that's why I always debate people that, that don't like Stu or people that don't think that Stu is going to return. I always kind of debate them, and I always say, then why do you believe that Jill? Why do you believe that Jill's alive then? Like, you really believe that she's able to survive paddles to the head? I mean, I don't believe that whatsoever. I don't. But because again, you should be brain dead, or she would be basically brain dead. Her brain would be fried right now. As I was saying, it just wouldn't really make any sense. And then, if you compare it to a TV, it's nothing compared to a TV. Or a TV is basically a little different than paddles. Like, paddles, you get more damage. So that's just my opinion on that. A lot of people who hate Stu, a lot of people that say, "Oh, well, Stu, Wes Craven and them didn't like the idea. Oh, they didn't like the idea of Stu returning and whatnot." That's absolutely not true. That's not true at all. They wanted Stu to return, but the combine shooting is the real reason why they didn't do it. That's the real reason. It had nothing to do with them not liking the idea, like people were saying. Like people were saying that they didn't like the idea and whatnot. That's just absolute just BS. Okay? That's absolute BS. Because we all know for a fact that it wasn't because they didn't like the idea. It was mostly because of the combine shooting. That's the reason why. If it wasn't for the combine shooting, they would have did it. They would have did it in Scream. We would have already gotten Stu back in Scream 3. Like, so that's just my theory, my take on that. So those people that don't believe that Stu's alive always say that, or the people that don't like Stu always say that. Oh, they were going to bring him back, but they didn't like the idea. Like, I mean, that's absolutely BS. That's not true at all. It was because of combine shooting is why they didn't do it. So that's what I always tell them. It was because of the combine shooting. And yeah, people just don't understand. Like a lot of people, okay, everybody's got their own opinions about everything. Everybody's got their own theories. People believe in what they believe in. But I can't sit here and say I believe that. I can't sit here and say that I believe that Stu, or what am I going to say? Sorry. I can't sit here and say that just because that I can't sit here and say that they didn't want to bring him back because they didn't like the idea. Because that's not true. That's not the reason why at all. It was because of combine shooting. And again, everybody's got their own opinions, of course. There's people out there that believe Charlie's alive. There's people out there that do believe that Jill's alive over Stu. And I really don't get it personally. But again, that's everyone's got their own opinions at the end of the day. I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody, but I just don't believe that Stu. I don't believe that Stu is, or I don't believe that Jill's alive. I just don't. But I could be wrong. I could be very well wrong. Maybe she is alive and I've just done, but I don't think she is. I don't think they're going to bring her back personally. But again, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm going to rule it out, because again, if she does return, I'm going to admit that I'm wrong. Of course. I'm going to come on here and tell you guys straight up that I was wrong, and I'm willing to do that. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not possible, because we've seen greater things happen, but I personally don't think that she's alive. But doesn't mean that she necessarily isn't. I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, there's people that, like I was saying, there's people that don't think that Stu's alive. The people that are not on the Stu train, could turn out to be wrong, and he could, he may be alive. He could have been alive this whole time, and they just didn't know. So, I mean, hey. So, I mean, people's got their own theories, got their own opinions about the whole Stu thing and the whole Jill thing, I believe Stu's alive. I don't believe Jill is for 1 second. That's just my opinion on that. Like, does that mean that I hate Jill? No. I never said that I hated Jill. I never said that at all. I'm just saying that I just don't believe that her character is alive. I just don't. And I know that, her character, Emma Roberts, she said that she wants to, come back. I guess she feels like her character get, didn't get a proper ending, which I understand. I completely get it, I completely understand. But I can't sit here and say that. I mean, if she doesn't feel like her character is truly dead, I mean, she has a right to feel like that. Same with, like Matthew Lillard. He talks about Stu not being dead and whatnot. And we all know that he believes that. So, I mean, but yeah, I'm not going to sit here and judge her for thinking that, of course. But, I mean, listen, guys, it's very possible that it could happen. But again, I mean, I could be very wrong again. Maybe I am wrong. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm sorry, I just don't. I mean, if she does come back, it'll probably only be. If she does come back, I'm going to admit that I'm wrong. I'm telling you guys, like, I'm not going to be afraid to come on here and tell you that I was wrong. Trust me on that. Like, and I just know 100%, 100% that, like, well, I don't know 100% that she's dead or anything, of course. That's like with the Charlie incident. I don't know. Did he really get stabbed? Who really knows? But a lot of people have their theories, They say that he's alive. I really don't know what to think of it because, again, he got stabbed in the heart. And to me, that you can't really survive that, unless there was something to where he didn't get stabbed in the heart. That's basically the only way he could have lived. But I truly don't believe that because his character got stabbed. Well, I believe he got stabbed in the heart, but a lot of other people may not believe that. Like I know a lot of people that don't believe that. Obviously, in the community that I know, that's on Craven's channel and whatnot, on other channels and whatnot. So I mean, hey, yeah. Obviously, if you guys don't know who Marcus is, I shot him 6 times. He's the one that believes that, which I respect his opinion. He believes that Charlie's alive and whatnot, which I respect his opinion, of course, because everyone's got their own theories. Like there's theories out there that about like Randy and whatnot. There's theories about Cotton. Like Cotton's one of those. I think Cotton's one of the characters that I don't believe. I mean, a lot of people believe that Cotton somehow like survived and whatnot, but I truly don't believe that Cotton survived Scream 3 at all because, again, he did get stabbed. He got stabbed pretty damn good in my and I just don't think he could survive. I mean, did he really get stabbed that much? I mean, no, not really, not necessarily, but he did get stabbed. So I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that he was. I'm not going to sit here and say that he was, that he couldn't have survived. I mean, surely that's possible, but again, I don't have any credible evidence, to say that he's alive. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I've only heard this theory a couple times, I mean, somebody made a video about it, um, and they said that basically they think that Charlie's alive and what, or not Charlie, well Charlie too, but obviously Cotton, which Cotton Weary, his character is very very interesting, and I've never thought about that at all. When somebody brought that up and whatnot, that basically he was like an actor, so he could have faked his own death and whatnot. And all these theories, right? I mean, everyone's got their own opinion. Everybody has the right, to come up with their own ideas and whatnot. Even though I may not believe it. I mean, the Cotton thing is very interesting. Like I was saying, it's the first time that I even heard about it. Um, which is crazy. Like I never heard about it until until I watched somebody's video, and I forget what his name was, but somebody was making like a video about Cotton possibly being alive and whatnot. And I don't believe that he's alive personally. I mean, maybe he is. I wish that he was, of course, because he is a great character. Everybody loves his character and all that, and his character I think was underrated, and I felt like he should have had a lot more time. He shouldn't have died, I don't think, in Scream 3. I think he should have been in Scream 4, especially Scream 4. I mean, you would have thought he would have at least been in Scream 4. Um, but sadly, he just never got to that point. He ended up getting killed off in Scream 3 and whatnot. And I guess the actor, Leah Schreiber, I believe his name is, wanted to get killed off, I guess. So because I guess this is what I'm hearing, okay? Cotton Weary's character was supposed to have a bigger role than what he had. Like he wasn't originally supposed to die in the opening scene, like because the actor wanted it. The actor wanted to get killed off and whatnot. But he was going to have a bigger role in the movie. Basically, he was going to be like in the whole film. He was going to be a part of the Stab or whatever, the Stab movie or whatever. He was like a character in the Stab movie in Scream 3. Like if you guys don't remember, he was going to have a bigger role than what he had. Which is pretty interesting. Like I didn't really know that until watching some videos and whatnot, people talking about it. Because I did know that the character or the actor wanted his character to get killed off, so that's ultimately why they didn't go with that idea, because the actor basically just asked to get killed off, I guess. So that's what happened. He was supposed to have a bigger role, but he just, I guess for some reason, he just wanted to get killed off in the opening. So but yeah, he was supposed to have a bigger role. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, it would have been cool. Would have been really cool to see him in Scream 4, especially Scream 4. Scream 4. Scream 4. Scream 4 to me would have been, to me, a perfect film for him to be in. Shoot, even Randy too. It's just, it's kind of unfortunate that we lost both of those characters so early. Like especially Randy, Randy was a character that should have lived a lot longer than what he did, in my opinion, because he was only, again, guys, he was only in one movie. He was only in one film. He survived Scream 1996, and then he gets it. He does Scream 2, which I do give him credit for this. At least they didn't kill him early in the film. At least they waited until like the middle of the film, to do it. So they didn't do it like early, but it was very shocking, that they killed him off. Like I wish they didn't make that decision. I wish they would have kept him a lot longer, personally, because again, he had so much he had so much in him, like so much, man. There's so much, like he had a lot more in him. I think, in my opinion, he should not have died that early. Like his character was just so well, like, again, he's an OG. I consider him to be an OG character, I consider him to be an OG. So it was just like, it was shocking that he died. That he died in that manner, And it was shocking. Absolutely shocking. His death definitely caught me off guard. For sure. And I'm pretty sure it caught a lot of others, off guard as well. Like nobody expected it, but so I really do think that Randy's character, should have lived a lot longer. It would have been very interesting to see him in like Scream 3. It would have been interesting to see him in Scream 4, But sadly, we didn't get to see it. It's unfortunate, again, but I guess it is what it is. You gotta, I guess you gotta move on, right? Man, it's really all you could do. But I wish they would have brought him back still, because I did have plans on bringing him back. They were going to say that he faked his death or something. And yeah, they were going to bring him back originally. But obviously they had that rule where, you get killed off, you can't come back. Dead characters can't come back, which, I mean, I guess it's a good rule to have, but at the same time, it would have been cool to see him back, like to see him, possibly faking his death and whatnot, having, his family like hiding him and whatnot. I mean, that would have been interesting to see, because then he would have been in Scream 3 as well. He would have been in Scream 4 possibly. I mean, who really knows? Who really knows? But Wes Craven, he made the decision. Kevin Williamson made a decision, you're dead, you can't come back. And that's the number one rule, I guess. And now if they would have did something to where he faked his death before that, honestly, I would have did it. Personally, if it was me, I would have said that he faked his death, because personally, that would have just been so awesome to see, like to see his character, end up like, you think that he died, but then all of a sudden we find out that his parents hit him or whatever, and then you see him appear in Scream 3 or something. Like, turns out that he didn't die, which that would have been really cool to see. But unfortunately, we never got to see it. We never got to see it at all, and it's unfortunate. It truly is. It's unfortunate, sad. But hey, I guess you got to move on. And Jamie Kennedy, has said many times that I really don't know what he really said, but I'm pretty sure that I don't think he probably thinks like us. Um, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't. I don't know if he wanted to come back at all, but I'm pretty sure he probably would have. Um, that would have been cool to see him back, even if it was just a dream, like something to where, again, we get maybe more videos again or something like that. Who really knows, man? But a lot of people just don't really want videos, which I understand. A lot of people don't want videos, which I get it. But yeah, it's sad. It's sad overall that we lost so many characters so early. Like I was saying, like Cotton like I said, Cotton was that one of those characters as well. Like that, I felt like that should have been on, that should have lived, and should have been in Scream 4. In my honest opinion, that's just my personal opinion. Same with Randy too. Like him and Cotton both should have been. They should have both been. In Scream 4. They should have. Obviously Randy. He should have been in Scream 3. Cotton should have been in Scream 4. And Randy could have been also in Scream 4. But it just would have been very, very interesting to see. But obviously, his character, they just felt it was right to kill him off, And I personally don't think that they made the right decision, But I'm not going to sit here and judge them for their decision, Because again, they do have that rule: when you die, you can't come back. When your character dies, you can't come back. And I guess that's a good rule to have in a film. It's a good rule, but it's unfortunate. Again, there's a lot of theories. There was a lot of theories out there about Randy, like him possibly being like a mastermind and whatnot. Now, I believed that it could work. I definitely believed that it could for a little while there, especially if they would have, said that he survived. I think that it could have worked because again, if you don't really remember, in that videotape in Scream 3, he's basically speaking on the killer like as if basically like he know like how did he know that there was going to be a third killer? He was good at predicting, of course. We all know that he was good, at he basically predicted everything. He predicted, Billy to be one of the killers, and he turned out to be right. Scream 2, he said that Mickey was one of the killers. He turned out to be right again. So he basically was right about both killers. He was right about Billy. He was right about Mickey. So he was smart. He was a smart, his predictions, he was very smart. I understand that. But like, I just feel like, it was kind of weird, like how he knew, basically like how he knew about this killer and that killer. Um, Basically how he knew there was going to be a third killer. I mean, then he was basically talking about his own death. He was talking about his own death in Scream 2, but he's sitting there talking about it like on the video. Like, so I don't understand how you could talk about your death, but you're clearly sitting there, you're very well alive, talking about it, talking about your own death, but you're clearly making a video. So you're clearly not dead, That's just the way I look at it. So that's basically my theory on that. That's basically my theory. I thought that it could very well work. I mean, I don't know about now. It's probably too late now to do all that, but I thought it could work. I definitely thought it could, especially if they would have said that he was, that he stayed. They would have kept him alive. But sadly, they didn't. Sadly, they didn't want to again break the rules, which is very understandable. I personally wouldn't have made. I personally would have changed. I would have changed. If I had a decision to make, and I decided to do something like that, I would have just said he faked his death personally. If it was me, I would have kept his character alive. Because I felt like he had a lot more to offer. I think in the franchise, he had a lot more in him. Especially, I felt like that was just it was a little too early, I think. And, it's just unfortunate. And then, as I was saying, Cotton's character is another character that I just really didn't want to see die. I didn't want to see him die at all. I felt like he had a lot more in him too. Should have been in Scream 4. In my opinion, that would have been interesting. But obviously, everything, all the characters, obviously the actor wanted to get killed off. So I'm not going to sit here and blame him for that. Obviously, he wanted to be killed off because he probably felt like, I don't know, maybe he just didn't want to do any more film. I don't know. But that certainly would have been cool to see him in Scream 4, even in Scream 5, But that's just my honest opinion on that. But anyways, I'm going to be like switching gears here, a little bit. Like there's other characters out there. Like Jennifer Jolie, obviously, you guys know. Parker Posey's character of Scream 3. Apparently, the actor wants to come back for another film. Apparently, supposedly she survived. If they do bring her back, she obviously survived Scream 3, I guess. And I think it's very possible again because She only got stabbed once. If you guys don't remember, she only got stabbed once, and she got shot by Dewey. But that's very easy to survive if you think about it, because you only get stabbed. If you get stabbed once, you're basically, that's easier to survive. So I think it's very possible that her character could definitely be back. Definitely think her character, it would be very interesting to see her back, you know. We don't know 100%, of course, if she will be back, but it's very possible. Because again, she wants to come back. She's made that very clear, just like Duane Martin from Scream 2. He wants to come back. He said that many times, you know. He wants to come back to the franchise. So yeah, it's very, very interesting, you know, very, very interesting. And of course, we don't know 100% on any of that, but who really knows at this point, right? Who really knows? All I know is that it's very, very possible that Duane Martin, Parker Posey, and who else? Patrick Dempsey, Neve Campbell, obviously, and Angelina is another one. But Angelina at this point is one that I don't know necessarily. I don't think that's going to happen personally at this point in time. But I definitely think it's possible. I think it's possible that her character is alive again. I believe that her character is alive because she wasn't on the official kill list. So I definitely think that it's very possible that her character could be alive. Very possible, in my honest opinion. Then obviously you got Parker Posey, you got Duane Martin, you got Patrick Dempsey. So you got Jennifer Jolie, you got Joel, you got Mark Kincaid, and then you got who else? Obviously Neve Campbell, right? Neve Campbell is one of them. So yeah. So you got Jennifer Jolie, Joel the cameraman, so Jennifer Jolie, Joel the cameraman, Mark Kincaid, and then what's another character that I want? Obviously Neve Campbell, obviously Sydney, but we've seen her, like, obviously that's not really a surprise. I'm just talking about characters that we haven't seen in a while, you know, that we know that are still alive. And I talked about whatchamacallit. I talked about one of the two characters from Scream 2. I think it was the sorority sisters. So I want to see the sorority sisters involved in Scream 7. I want to see, obviously, Joel the cameraman. That'd be cool to see Jennifer Jolie back from Scream 3. Mark Kincaid from Scream 3. And maybe Angelina. I mean, Angelina is one of those characters again that I don't necessarily. Okay, like a lot of people think it's too late in the game right now, which I agree with that. I think it is too late in the game for her character to come back. But if I was a director and if I was a producer, she would be a character that I would bring back. Like personally, if it was me, um, she would be the one, like the number one. She would be the number one character in like my mind and my head, like that I would come up with to, bring back because again, she didn't die. I don't feel she's not on the official kill list. Um, and yeah, she didn't die, in my opinion. Because if you really think about it, we didn't see her get stabbed. We didn't see her. We didn't see her get killed at all. We only saw her body get dragged away. And then on top of that, she was basically suspicious in the whole film. As if she was the second killer. So, and then after, obviously the biggest thing is, her name not being on the official kill list of Scream 3. So, I mean, that's a lot of evidence there, that she is alive, that she could be alive. And I still believe that she is 100%. Because again, she did not. Again, when your name is not on the official kill list, there's just some suspicion there. Like that usually means, your character didn't die at all or something. Because this is my theory on that. I mean, everybody else's characters are on there, So I mean, and she was the only one that didn't have her name on there. So I definitely think that it's very, very possible. Again, that she could be alive, and I definitely believe that if she is alive, I don't think necessarily she could. I don't think she has to be a killer or anything like that. I don't think so. I don't think she has to be a killer necessarily to come back. However, I do think that I do believe that she could come back as a cameo, like maybe as a cameo appearance, or maybe just as maybe like a regular character, a regular like background character or something. Like she doesn't have to be a Ghostface killer or anything like that, in my opinion. I think she could come back, to be a background character, and what it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, she could come back as a background character. She could come back as Ghostface. I wouldn't mind that, but I think having her come back as a background character, as just herself, like what she was in Scream 3, that would be pretty cool as well. Like, and it doesn't really matter how you do. Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to be upset if you don't bring her back as, again, a Ghostface killer, because again, I don't really believe. I truly don't believe. I mean, it would be cool to see her as a Ghostface killer, but also a part of me wants to see her just be a regular character as well. I mean, either or would be pretty cool. I just want to see her back in general. So, I mean, either or would be awesome, as long as they don't do anything stupid. I just want her back. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter if she's a killer. It doesn't matter if she's just a regular character, just standing around, doesn't matter. I want to see her back. I want to see her appear in another Scream film. That's all. And I'm pretty sure that the actor, would be willing to do it. I'm pretty sure. 100%. I'm not saying that she will, but I'm pretty sure that she will, that she'd be down to do it, and but yeah, I just want to see Angelina back so bad, you know, because I just truly don't believe that she died at all. Like, I just don't. Um, but yeah, it's definitely pretty interesting. I think like her and Stu makes the most sense. So I think Angelina being alive makes a lot more sense than Jill. Hell of a lot more sense, and also Stu. So I think Stu and Angelina makes the most sense, to be like alive right now. Um, and again, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. A lot of people feel like it's too late in the game, which I tend to agree with, in a way. I tend to agree that it may be too late in the game right now to do anything like that, even consider that. Um, but who really knows? Who really knows? I mean, anything is very possible, as I was saying. Anything can happen in the Scream franchise. Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it can't happen. A lot of people do believe it is too late in the game, but shit, if I was a director, I would be on that shit right now. Like, I would be on that shit, guys. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, if I was a director, I'm bringing her back. I'm sorry, because again, her character to me didn't die at all, dude. Like, I'm telling you, she did not die. I don't believe she did. I think she makes the most sense. She makes a hell of a lot more sense than Jill does. And Stu as well. Stu and Angelina are the main ones, as I was saying. Yeah, Stu and Angelina makes the most sense, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that it's gonna happen. I mean, I hope it does. I hope it happens. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm not. I hope that I'm not. I hope that it does happen. I hope it does, but I'm not 100% if it will. You know, and I think Stu is more unlikely to return, probably over Angelina at this point in time, sadly. But I mean, I like Stu, but I also like Angelina, like, because Angelina, again, I think Wes Craven intentionally had all those clues in that film, for a reason. There was a reason why he had all those clues, you know, in that film. I mean, he had a lot of clues, And I think they were all there for, they were all there intentionally. He put him there intentionally. There was a reason why he gave it. I don't know if he had plans on bringing Angelina back or anything, but I do know that he had those. He had those there intentionally. Um, those clues. Now I don't really know. Again, if he, I don't really know. I don't know if he had plans. I don't know if he had plans at all to bring him back or bring her back. Excuse me, but I do think that he intentionally had, those clues there. Um, but I don't know what he was planning on doing. All I know is that he had planned on, Angelina was supposed to, she was supposed to go to college, or not college, high school. She was supposed to be a part of Scream 1996. Was the original plan, right? The plan was that Angelina was going to be one of the Ghostface killers with Roman. That she was going to be obviously the girlfriend of Roman, and they were going to be revealed as a killer, like together, right? So it wasn't originally going to be Roman revealed as a killer. It was going to also be Angelina revealed as well, and basically they were going to be like, I guess they were going to be like a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, and Angelina was supposed to have went to school with Sydney or something like that, and that was the original plan. That's what they were going to do. Um, Decided not to do that, but that was the original plan. Now, however, I still think they did do that, but they didn't reveal Angelina as the killer. Instead, they had her fake her death. I think there's a reason why why she wasn't revealed as a killer. Um, I think that's the reason, because again, I think the number one reason is because Roman possibly didn't need her, you know, for anything anymore. Maybe he just wanted to deal with Sydney on his own. That's just what I think. So he decided, to help her. Um, he decided to help her fake her death so that she could get away or whatever. You know, so that she didn't get in trouble for anything, and then so that he could deal with Sydney on his own. That's just my opinion, because obviously that was Roman's sister, and obviously it's brother and sister, so of course he's gonna want Sydney, by himself. He doesn't want any help. He doesn't need Angelina. He doesn't need anybody. He wants to deal with her himself. So that's just my theory on that. Think that he wanted to deal with her himself. So that's the reason why I think that why Angelina wasn't revealed as a killer. Why, why she could have maybe like Roman helped her fake her death again, because he didn't need her for anything no more. Didn't need her help. And I think that it was just personal to him. He wanted Sydney by himself. He didn't want anybody else. He didn't want anybody. He didn't want to have help or anything. He wanted just him and Sydney. That's it. One on one. Which that's just my theory on that. I just think that he, possibly helped her fake her death, and that's the reason why a second killer wasn't revealed. I truly believe. That's just my theory on that. You know, I don't think a second killer wasn't revealed because of that reasoning. Like, that's the reason. Because he didn't need, he didn't need her no more. He wanted to deal with Sydney on his own because it was obviously more personal between, because obviously Sydney is his sister or whatever, so it was more personal to him. So he didn't want a partner or anything. So yeah, that's just my theory. I definitely think Angelina's out there somewhere. I don't know if I'm praying and hoping that the new directors, the new writers, acknowledge that, look into that a lot more and try to bring her back, because I definitely think, hopefully they do. I'm praying and hoping that they do, because she's the one character that I don't believe like died at all, along with Stu. Um, those are the only two characters that I don't believe died at all. Like, in the franchise, I mean, people could make an argument say that Jill did either, but again, Jill, she'd be brain dead right now, as I was saying. So I think the only characters that need to come back really is Angelina and Stu. Those are the two characters that need to come back. Um, I don't think we need anybody else. I don't think we need, Charlie or anything like that, because Charlie to me, again, I feel like he got stabbed in the heart. So I don't think, and we saw him get killed. With Angelina, we didn't see her get killed at all. We just saw her body get dragged away. Um, and if you guys don't remember, and this is another thing to think about. So in Scream 3, right, Roman was the director of Stab. So basically, he knew how to do special effects and whatnot. And they were in Hollywood, obviously. Well, obviously, he ended up faking his own death earlier in the film. Or if you guys don't remember, he faked his own death um, to trick everyone, And then after that, I think he helped Angelina fake her own death. So that's very interesting, right? I mean, that's just my theory. He faked his own death. He helped her fake her own death because he knew how to do that kind of stuff. So that's just my theory on that. Because you don't remember, because when I first watched the film, when Roman was in the casket and whatnot, I legitimately thought that it was somebody else. I did not think that it was Roman or anything like that. And then obviously, when you get to the end, you're shocked by it. And it turns out that it is Roman the whole time. And that he ended up faking his own death. And he was in the casket, And I legitimately thought that he died. Like, I legitimately thought that Ghost, the killer, killed him, and because he obviously had the knife and it's, but then, at the end, obviously when the killer got revealed at the end, in the reveal, I was shocked, when it turned out to, be Roman. I was shocked by that because, again, again, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect Roman to be the killer, you know, and it caught me off guard because I was like, wait up. I thought that he died. I thought he was in the casket, but then I was thinking like, oh my god, he faked his own damn death. So he basically, he outsmarted me. He tricked everyone, because I thought it was somebody else the whole time. When I first watched the film, like, so obviously that's the best part I think about Scream 3. Like, I think they did a good job with that. Like, they did a good job keeping not giving away like who the killer was. They try to hide it as much as possible, which that's what I love about the Scream films. They try to, it's basically like a mystery. You gotta like guess who it is, and they did a good job, of hiding like who the killer was, and Scream 3, I feel like did a good job on that. Did a good job of hiding, who the killer was the whole time, which was, good. That's why I love it a lot. Why it's an underrated film, in my opinion. Um, I feel like it did such a great job, with that. Like, because basically you think it's somebody else, but then it turns out that you're wrong or whatever. And then it's the person that you don't really think about, And it's crazy, man. Like, I was shocked by that. Like, I was thinking that it was either Mark Kincaid or one of his partner, whatever. That's other police officer. I forget his name, but I thought it was one of them the whole time. When I first watched the movie, I legit thought it was one of them, you know. But then obviously, when you watch the movie and whatnot, and you see Roman fake his death, you're like, wait up, it's somebody else, right? Kind of tricks you into thinking, that it was that it was somebody else. But then obviously at the end, Roman's the killer. He faked his death. Like, that's the reason why I feel like Roman is the best killer, and why I think Scream 3 is so unappreciated as a film. It's because of that. That's the main reason. That's the main reason why I believe that. Like, why I believe it's so unappreciated, why it's so underrated. Um, why I love it so much, why it's my second favorite in the franchise, and why Roman's my favorite killer. Um, you know, I just think that it just does a great job of that. You basically don't know anything. You don't know anything about Roman going into the film. Like, obviously now you do, but I'm just talking about when you first watched the film, when it came out. Like, you really didn't, like, you basically didn't know anything about, you really didn't know anything about like Roman or anything like that, which was interesting, which I loved, because that's the whole point of a Scream film. You know, basically got to play a guessing game throughout the whole movie. So that's the reason why I love Scream 3 so much. Why it's my favorite in the franchise. So like that's why whodunits are so, like, that's why it's my favorite. Like, whodunits. This is why Scream to me is the most realistic franchise in horror. Like, hands down. It's the most realistic because number one, it's more humanly. Number two, you have different killers in every movie. Um, and yeah, as it were Halloween, you had the, you already know who the killer is. Jason, Friday the 13th, you already know who the killer is. So, but Scream, Scream is just unique. That's what makes it so unique. Is that you have to find out, you got to figure out who the killer is. You got to figure out. You basically got to figure out who the killers are. And it basically like tricks you sometimes. Like you think that somebody is one of the killers. Like let's just say you point a finger at one person, then you turn out to be wrong or something. Then you find out somebody that you didn't expect. Like that's something. That's what makes the Scream film so great. You know, that's what made Scream 3. That's what made Scream 3 so great. Was that. Because like you didn't know anything about Roman. You didn't know anything about him at all. It was basically a mystery throughout the whole film. You know, we didn't know anything about him. We didn't know anything about him at all. We didn't even know that he was, Sydney's brother or anything like that. Um, Obviously until the end. So, and then also you find out that he's the mastermind of Scream 1996, which he was the one that told Billy and Stu to kill Maureen Prescott. So, and that was pretty shocking to me as well. So, and a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people just don't. They don't like that part at all. The fact that he was the mastermind of 1996, but it makes a lot of sense if you really think about it. To me, um, that's just my opinion. I think it makes sense. But that everybody's got their own opinions, their own, you know, people's got their own opinions about it, and I'm not gonna blame them or anything like that. I'm not gonna sit there and judge them. You know, there's people out there that don't like Scream 3. That's completely fine. I completely understand like why they don't like it, but then again, I don't like because I love it. But I respect everyone's opinion. I'm not gonna sit here and judge anybody, for their opinions or anything like that. Um, I'm gonna respect everyone's opinions, and that's basically what I try to do. I don't want to judge anybody for having an opinion. If somebody doesn't like the movie, I guess I'm not going to judge them for that. You know. So I mean, just like just like if I like the movie, that you know, just because I like the movie doesn't mean there's a lot of people that do like the movie. You know, a lot of people that do like the movie, but there's a lot of people. The movie, I think Scream 3 has the like lesser. I think it's got. I think the rating for that movie is pretty bad. Like a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like it at all. But again, everybody's got their own opinions. Everybody's got their own thoughts, their own opinions on movies, and that's the beauty of film. Everyone's got their own opinions, their own views. I don't know certain films and whatnot. Um, So I mean, I'm not going to sit here and judge them for that. I'm not going to judge them. You know, everyone's got their opinions and their own views about certain films. You know, and I respect it. I respect everyone's views. Just like I expect them to respect my opinion about the movie, you know, because I love it. I personally love it. It's my favorite. It's okay. It's not better than Scream 1996. Okay. I'll say that because it isn't. It's not better than Scream 1996. But to me, it's one of the best. It's the second best, in my opinion. I enjoy it way more than I do Scream 2. You know, but that's my personal opinion. You know, there's going to be a lot of people out there that, you know, have Scream 3 probably at number 4 or something like that, or number 5 even. But personally, me, I think it's number 2. I have it number 2 on my rankings for the Scream films. Like I got Scream 1996, I got Scream 3, I got Scream 2, Scream 4, Scream 6, and then Scream 5. Scream 5 is my last for a lot of reasoning. You guys already know, you know. And I honestly think, you know, there's people out there that claim that Scream 5 is better than Scream 3 and all this nonsense. Okay? No, it isn't. I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion and all, but that's crazy thinking. To say that Scream 5 is better than Scream 3, I mean, come on. So you're basically saying that Radio Silence is better than Wes Craven? Like, are you serious? Like right now? That's crazy to say. That to me is blasphemy. You know? There's people out there that actually think that way. That think that Scream 5 is better than Scream 3. Or that Scream 5 is better than 4 or Scream 2. You know, that's ridiculous to say. In my opinion. Of course you have your own opinion, whatever. That's fine. But that to me is blasphemy to say because Wes Craven's always going to be a legend in my opinion. The best horror director of all time, I think. I think he's like the master of horror. Like, and for you to sit there and disrespect a legend like Wes Craven like that and say that Radio Silence, you know, makes a better film. Come on, man. That's blasphemy there. You know? I can't say that because Wes Craven is a legend. I'm always gonna pick Wes Craven over Radio Silence, you know, because he invented the films. He's the one that came up with the concept. He's the one that's, you know, came up with the whole idea of Scream. So without Wes Craven, there's no Radio Silence, in my opinion. That's just my opinion on that. Like, I just don't really understand like why people say that kind of thing, you know? I mean, people got their own views at the end of the day, just like I argue with people about, you know, those Rob Zombie fans, which I don't want to change the subject too much, but there's Rob Zombie fans out there that claim that John Carpenter or that Rob Zombie is better than John Carpenter. But I always tell them, like, why do you feel that way? Like, why? To me, that's blasphemy to say, you know, because you're basically disrespecting a legend, you know, and you're basically saying, Just because he's got graphic, just because of the graphic kill is the reason why you think he's better than John Carpenter. Like that's the only reason. Like come on, that's blasphemy. So I'm not gonna sit here and say like John Carpenter is a legend, you know. So that's why I always don't understand why Rob Zombie fans always say that. But it's the same thing as I was saying with Radio Silent people that like Scream Five. You know, people that are diehards of Scream Five out there that don't understand the other four Scream films prior before, you know, and they sit there and say that basically it's that Radio Silent, that Scream 5 is better than 3 and all that and whatever, right? Some people put Scream 3 last and put 5 in front of it and whatnot, whatever. That's not the way I don't think that way at all. Like, you know. And look, everyone's got their own opinion, but to me that's blasphemy to say. That's blasphemy to say because you're basically saying that Radio Silence is better than Wes Craven. You're saying that the writers are better than Kevin Williamson and all that as well. Like, come on. Like what are we saying here? Like, I understand everyone has their own views and whatnot, but to me that's just blasphemy, you know? That's blasphemy to say. You know? Absolutely just blasphemy. But again, everybody's got their own opinion. You know, I'm not going to sit here and judge them too much on that. Of course. You know? Not going to judge them too much on that. Because again, everyone's got their own opinion. But to me, that's blasphemy to say. Especially about a guy who passed away too. Like, I mean, that's blasphemy, you know? You know, I never in a million years consider Scream 5 to be better than Scream 3. Never. Never in a million years I ever think that way. Like, you know, Scream 3 to me is a better, way far better film than Scream 5. And okay, like everybody's got their opinion. Everybody prefers. There's people out there that don't like Scream 3 at all, but I'm pretty sure a lot of those people are probably putting, you know, Scream 3 in front of 5, you know, you know, that's where it should be. It should be in front of 5. In my opinion, that's where I have it as my number 2. I have it as my second favorite. So, meaning that obviously it's my second favorite in the franchise. So I have it way ahead of 5, like way ahead. And 5 is actually like my last. It's probably always gonna be my last, personally. Even when Scream 7 comes out. I'll probably put even Scream 7 in front of it. But we have obviously had to see Scream 7 first, which that won't be until 2025. But yeah, I just can't think like that, man. I just can't. That's just a weird way of thinking, to say that Scream 5 is better than Scream 3, and like what and in what way? In what way? That's all I gotta ask. Like, because Scream 5 did not have any chase scenes whatsoever. So you're saying that a film with no chase scenes, no character development, you're saying that that's better than Scream 3? Wow. Because last time I knew, Scream 3 has chase scenes. It's got far more iconic moments. Better character development to me. That's just my opinion. I mean, are you gonna really say that a film that doesn't have a chase scene, that doesn't have a single chase scene, you're gonna say that's better than Scream 3? Like, that's crazy to say. I can't say it, man. I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't be down with that. Oh, how's it going, Perry? How you doing, man? Thank you for popping in the stream. Obviously, I'm just talking about Scream theories and whatnot. Just kind of chilling out and hanging out, Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I'm just talking about like people saying that Scream 5 is better than Scream 3. And basically like ranting about it because I don't agree with it. Like, because I don't think Scream 5 to me is not on the level of Scream 3. Wes Craven's always going to be a legend. And that film is never going to touch Scream 3. That's just my opinion on that. But there's a lot of people, of course, out there that are going to say Scream 5, this and that, is better than Scream 3. No, to me, it isn't, because, and of course, you're entitled to your own opinion. But, people out there, to me, that's blasphemy to say. I love Scream 3. Yeah, I do too. It's definitely underrated, in my opinion. Definitely the most underrated film. And 5. Oh, you like 5? Yeah, I respect your opinion on that. I mean, I don't really like 5. I actually have 5 as my last favorite, because for a lot of the reasons, because it doesn't have chase scenes or anything like that. I feel like the character development was bad. But that's personally just my opinion. You think Scream 5 has better characters than Scream 3? I don't really think so. Personally, I don't think so at all. That's just my opinion. But I respect your opinion on that. But Scream 3 is way funnier. Yeah. I mean, it's way funner to me, and it's way. I think it's just a better film. But that's just my opinion on that, of course. And everyone's got their own opinions, you know. I'm not going to judge anybody. So I definitely respect your opinion. Because I actually have Scream 3 ranked. I have Scream 3 ranked number. Um, I have Scream 3 ranked number 2 on my list because I think it's just an underrated film. How you feel about Tara leaving? You're talking about Jenna Ortega, right? Um, yeah, Jenna Ortega. You know, I think that has she was doing other projects. You know, and obviously, I don't know if you heard about the Melissa Barrera situation as well, but obviously she got fired. So obviously, Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega will not be in Scream 7. Obviously, Melissa Barrera get fired, and Jenna Ortega um, doing other projects, I guess, right now. So, yeah, that's basically what's going on. Obviously, they're not going to be in Scream 7, sadly. But how I feel about it is just I'm kind of shocked by it in a way because again, I didn't expect them to not be in the film. Um, I didn't expect them not to be in the film because I 100% thought they were going to be back. You know, I didn't think that Melissa Barrera would get fired or anything like that. That was shocking to me. And then obviously Jenna Ortega, that situation, you know, that shocked me as well. I mean, but she was doing other projects, so I kind of already figured that she wouldn't be in the film. But yeah, definitely shocking. I have a question. Do you think Stu is gonna come back? Um, so I'll give you a simple answer. Yes, I do. I believe that he I believe that he's alive. Don't believe that he's dead at all. Based off of all the evidence that we got in Scream 5 and Scream 6, I believe that he is alive, very well alive. I think if I had to guess, I do believe that he will be back. Um, and of course, it's just a theory. Of course, it's not 100%. It's just a theory that people have. And I definitely want it to happen, but doesn't mean it's going to happen, of course. Um, but I definitely want it to happen. I definitely want to see it. Everyone wants to see it, you know. And I hope, fingers crossed, you know, hopefully they do it because if they don't, I'm kind of going to be disappointed because it seems like the best time. It's like the best time to do it, in my opinion. This is basically like another trilogy, so I feel like it's the best time to do it. You know, to bring him back. Um, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, of course. You know, we'll see what happens. But hopefully he does come back. Hopefully, hopefully the killer, whoever it is, you know, en masse, and hopefully it is Stu. Hopefully. And there's a lot of theories out there about, you know, him having, you know, like him being like a cult leader. basically having like cult members and whatnot, which I think is another possibility because in Scream 3 there was, or not Scream 3, Scream 6, there was 3 killers, and obviously there's probably more, and they're probably probably a part of his like cult, like his group or something. Um, that's just my theory on that. So I think that they're doing like a cult thing. That's just my theory because we basically got 3 killers in Scream 6, and then obviously in Scream, the next one will probably, so obviously 2 killers in Scream 5, and then 3 killers in Scream 6. So right there, that's 5 killers. Or no, that's 4 killers there, right? And then if Scream 7 has like at least like 3 more or 4 more, which I'm probably guessing it'll be 3 more, but probably be like probably find out like all those other killers were probably a part of his like cult, Hopefully. Stew Train, yup. That's right, man. You already know. I'm on the Stew Train, and I'm also on the Angelina bus. I don't know if you believe that Angelina is still alive or not, but I believe that Angelina is also still alive from Scream 3, which I was just talking about that, how basically how she was a secret second, like she was the second killer, how she just wasn't revealed. So yeah, it's very interesting. I gotta go. Look, I have been building my channel, so I could have to keep up the great work. And you do that, I hope you do. So good luck. All right, man. Thank you. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. And good luck on your channel as well. And that's what I'm gonna be trying to do, man. I'm gonna try to keep on doing live streams and whatnot, keep making content to try to build my channel. That's basically the goal. And I'm almost at 400 subscribers, so I'm getting there. I just got to keep on grinding. But I appreciate it, man. Good luck to your channel as well. Just keep on working hard. You'll get where you need to be, man. I'm telling you. Same, everybody tells me that as well. Like, not to give up or anything. Keep being consistent. I'll be right back. Yes. Yes, I know that line. That's what Stu said. But yeah, I wish you luck as well with your channel. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Wow. It looks like we got a new viewer, guys, which is pretty interesting. Got a new viewer named Perry. Wow. The more and more it seems like I get more consistent, people start to find my channel more and more, it seems like, which is very interesting. which that's what happens, right? You keep on being consistent, you'll get more subscribers, more viewers, more people will follow, your channel, your live streams, and whatnot. That's what I'm going to keep on doing, keep on doing live streams, keep on doing content. Seems like the more and more I do that, more people find me, which is very interesting, very cool. That's what hard work does. The more and more you do content, the more people will find your channel, so pretty cool, man. But yeah, guys, I've been going on for at least, I would say at least like 3 hours or so. At least like 3 hours on here. It's been a little bit. But I'm having a lot of fun talking about Scream and whatnot. But yeah. So yeah, the more and more I'm consistent, the more and more I think people will find my channel. Which, again, I have a new member or a new viewer in here, that just, gave me a compliment, which is really cool. Really cool to see, it's really cool to see, new faces, people that you haven't seen in the chat, So I'm just going to keep on, grinding, keep on doing what I'm doing, keep on being consistent, Yeah. Do videos every single day, live streams every single day and whatnot. People are going to find, I think more and more people will find my channel. And, it seems like, as I was saying, I'm getting more views, a lot more people are starting to, find my channel a lot more, like a lot more new faces, that I haven't seen in my chat, which is, pretty cool. That's what happens though when you, I guess, right? When you're consistent, so hopefully just get more and more, new faces, Wow. Pretty cool, guys. And that's awesome that he basically gave me a compliment as well, which I really appreciate. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to try to find. This guy said that he has a channel apparently, so definitely gonna have to try to find his channel and sub for sure. But yeah, guys, I've been on here for at least 3 hours, just talking about Scream. But again, it's fun. I have a lot of fun doing this. Again, that's how you build a lot more viewers, how you build a lot more, people, how people, end up finding, again, your channel, which I learned that from, Craven. He told me, keep on being consistent, keep on making videos, keep on making content, keep on doing live streams and whatnot, and people will come. You'll see new faces once in a while, every once in a while. Um, which is interesting. It's really cool to see, as I was saying. But yeah, man, there's a lot of movies to look forward to. Like obviously, it kind of sucks that we have to wait until Scream 7 until 2025, but I think it's well worth the wait. Personally, you know, at least they're not kind of trying to rush it. And plus, I think there was like a writer strike going on that kind of prevented kind of that's the reason why they haven't started filming, I guess. But I think they'll start filming probably in the summer. I would say probably in the summer, more than likely. I think the summer is around the time I think that we could expect it, or we could expect them, to start filming. Because if you really think about it, that's what they did with Scream 7. They started filming Scream 7 in the summer of 2022, and then it released in obviously 2023. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I think the summertime is when I believe they'll start filming. Personally, maybe they'll film a lot earlier. Who really knows? Maybe they'll start filming in the spring. But I definitely think that I think the summer sounds more realistic, honestly. You know, Mister in Mister Insensitive, I think his name is. How's it going, man? Thank you for popping in. I appreciate you. My friend Perry told me about you. Oh yeah, Perry. Perry was just in my chat. No, he said that he had to go though. So he told me that he said that he has a channel as well, which is pretty interesting. I hope you're having a great night, man. Thank you for popping in. Wow, guys, we got another viewer here, which is pretty interesting. Hot take: Scream 4 is mid. You don't really like Scream 4? I mean, I personally like it. I think Scream 4 is a good film. I feel like Scream 4 is the most. I think Scream 4 is the most underrated film. Well, not the most underrated, but like one of the most unappreciated films. Like behind Scream 3. Like Scream 4 to me is like I feel like Scream 4 was the last, probably like the last great film. Personally, that's just my opinion. Um, I like it. I like it, of course. I love Scream 4. Definitely the last, great Scream film. The chase scenes and everything. It was just different. Like Scream 5 is just so different, compared to Scream 4. It just wasn't, it just doesn't compare. Jill, I think Jill, Emma Roberts did a phenomenal job in that film. And also, Kirby as well. They poured gasoline on the camera. Oh, did they really? Oh, I know what you mean. You mean that? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't really think so, man. I mean, I think it's a good film, but it's worthy of creating lots of movie. Yeah, it is. It is. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like it's a good film. You know, I don't think Radio Silence. I don't think they're on the level of Wes Craven. Their movie Scream 5 didn't have any chase scenes. Like, didn't have any of that. Didn't have the film had terrible character development. Um, it was completely different from Scream 4. Like, it was nothing like Scream 4. It was completely different. You know. How do you rank the Scream franchise? So obviously, my number one favorite is obviously Scream 1996. My second favorite is Scream 3. My third favorite, Scream 2. My fourth, Scream 4. My fifth, Scream 6. And then my sixth is Scream 5. So Scream 5 is my last. For a lot of for the reasons that I just said, no chase scenes. Dewey's death was absolutely just stupid in my eyes. Just the execution of his death. The whole movie was just absolutely just. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's a terrible film. It's just not as rewatchable as the Wes Craven's films. Another hot take: Scream 2 is the worst. What? I don't think Scream 2 is the worst. I think Scream 2 is actually one of the best sequels out there. But that's just my personal opinion. And I know a lot of people may not like, Scream. A lot of people have problems with Scream 2, probably because Miss Loomis. And I don't like Miss Loomis either, but I think Scream 2 is a good film. It's definitely one of the best sequels. I think, anyways. Especially out there. Especially you got Halloween 2, you got Child's Play 2, Scary Movie 2, and obviously, yeah. And so I think Scream 2 is one of the best. Yeah, I respect your opinion too, man. I know a lot of people disagree on stuff, but that's okay, man. That's the beauty of film, right? Everyone has their own, views on movies and whatnot. May not like a film that somebody else may like, which I'm not going to judge anybody for that. Everyone has their own opinion. So what other franchises do I like? I like obviously Scream is my number one favorite, and then I got Halloween, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then probably Child's Play, I do have Nightmare in my number five favorite, but I'm not a big fan of Nightmare like that. Like, but I do have it in my top five. And then Child's Play obviously is behind that. And I also love the Child's Play franchise. Um, but yeah, those are basically like my favorites. I'm a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan. Oh, I bet you. Yeah, like I like those films as well. Like I like the Nightmare films. You know, I mean, I don't watch them as much as obviously the Scream films and the Halloween and the Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But hey, I do love them. I do respect them. I appreciate them for what they are, especially Wes Craven's um, New Nightmare. That one was really good. Really loved. That's definitely a masterpiece. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not like a diehard fan of it or anything. But I do like it. I definitely do like it. So watch them all the time. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I like all of them as well. There's some of them that I don't like. Like I don't like Nightmare Part Five or Part Four really, but I do like the first three. I like Part One, Part Two, and Three, and then obviously the new Nightmare. My favorite Friday the 13th. My favorite Friday the 13th film is probably Jason. I'll probably say The New Blood. Um, Probably The New Blood, and also Jason Takes Manhattan. Jason Takes Manhattan, I feel, is the most underrated Friday the 13th film, based off of this. I think a lot of people were expecting. They didn't expect them to be on the cruise ship for one half of the film. So I think that's one takeaway from why people don't like Jason Takes Manhattan. But personally, I like it. I like the look of Jason. You know, and even though that one half of the film was on a cruise ship, I feel like it still had great kills. CGI was absolutely awesome in my opinion. Love the CGI in that film. Um, the kills, that, like I was saying, just absolute phenomenal. So entertaining, and I think it just gets too much hate. So yeah, I definitely think Jason Takes Manhattan is definitely the most underrated ones. One of the most underrated. And then obviously you got Jason X, which Jason X is definitely under. I think that's underrated as well. Oh yeah, yeah. Part seven, yeah. Part seven is one of my favorites as well. Like the look of Jason in that film is one of my favorite looks for sure. Um, Definitely the most underrated. Yeah, I like all the like I was saying. I like the Friday films more than I do the Nightmare films personally. You have horror figures? I'm a collector of horror figures. No, I do not have horror figures. I don't. But I do have horror movie, obviously DVDs. That's about it. I don't really collect much of anything. I just have films and movies, pretty much. That's all I really have. And obviously, I got some merch and whatnot. I got some Halloween shirts. I got some Ghostface shirts. Friday the 13th. So yeah, I do got some. got some great T-shirts and whatnot, movies, a lot of great films. Got all the Scream films, got all the Nightmare films, um, Halloween films, the Scream Factory, Friday the 13th box set, which that's really nice. I actually don't have them right now, sadly. But they're obviously, I'm actually washing them right now, so I can't really show them right now. I'm actually, they're obviously, I'm washing them right now, so. Yeah, sorry about that, man. Um, they're sadly in the washer right now, and they're washing right now, so and they're wet, so on a scale of 1 through 10, how excited are you for Scream 7? Oh, I'm probably a 10 because I think this should be the most exciting Scream film. Okay, because we could be getting back, getting old characters back, like in terms of like characters, from Scream 3, um, Scream 2. Um, you know, we could get Mark and Cade back. We could get Sydney back, of course. We could get Mark and Cade back. I just said that. Sorry. Um, Joel's another one that I really want to see back because again, he didn't die in Scream 2, so he's one that I really want to see back. So yeah, man, this movie's definitely a 10 for me because I feel like it's the most exciting film because it's a trilogy, man. Like we don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, for all we know, Stu could be in the film. You know, again, I'm not saying that he will, but definitely could. You think Chad and Mindy are doing 7? If so, how will they introduce them? Oh, without Tara and Sam. That's very interesting. I really don't know how it's going to go. Um, I have a feeling that one of them may die personally, because I thought that Mindy would definitely die and Scream. And Scream. I thought she would definitely die and Scream 6 for sure. I thought she would die. And I thought Chad would die. Well, Chad should have died personally. That's just my opinion. He got gutted. So, but apparently he survived that. And I guess Chad's going to be like our new Dewey character. And Mindy's going to be like Randy, I think. So, I don't really know what they're going to do, honestly. I do think that one of them will die, though, this time. I think that Mindy more than likely will get killed off for sure. And I think Chad's going to be our Dewey character, our new Dewey character. So yeah, it's gonna be. I don't really know what they're gonna do. You know, it's gonna be very interesting to see. But I do think that one of them are, one of them is gonna sadly have to go. And like I said, Perry said, I like just like Perry said, excuse me, I got to go keep up the grind. I see you doing amazing. Sorry, I have to go. I'm tired. Good luck. Oh, it's okay, man. Thank you for popping in and good luck to you as well, man. I don't know if you have a channel or not, but I'll definitely try to subscribe to your channel and obviously Perry's channel. Uh, so yeah, thank you for all the support and I appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of your night and get some good rest. I'm about to hop off here as well because I'm getting tired, but um, I've been on here for at least like 3 hours, going on 4. But I appreciate you. Yep, I appreciate you, man. Good luck if you have a channel as well. Like I was saying, I'll definitely be subscribing. But anyways, man, have a good night. Wow, guys, I have another viewer. So we got 2 new viewers. We got Perry. Obviously, we got Mr. Insensitive, I believe his name is, which is absolutely crazy. Like, so yeah, we got new viewers, which is interesting, and that's awesome to see. It seems that the longer I do do live streams, like maybe if I do longer live streams, maybe more people, will find me. So maybe I'll try to do that every night. Try to do live streams, at least for 3 hours to 4 hours. Because it seems like the more and more I do that, I always get like new. Seems like I'm getting new viewers, So, but anyways, I think I'm gonna hop off of here for tonight, guys. Thank you to everyone that made the stream. Be sure to hit the like button as always. Hit the subscribe button. And for those of you that didn't get to watch the stream, be sure to hit the replay button and hit the like button for me as well. And just give me your guys' thoughts as a whole. Just, if you miss this live stream, of course, hit the replay button. But anyways, guys, I am getting really tired. I'm gonna get laying down here. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And be sure to watch out for my stream tomorrow night again. We will be doing a conspiracy theory stream. So it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing something new on the channel. So we're going to be talking about like conspiracy theories and whatnot. Do something new in the channel. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. For those of you that didn't get to watch it, be sure to hit the replay button. And until tomorrow night, guys, peace out. Good night, everyone.